Hey, hi, how are you? My name is Elton. Welcome back to Magic the Gathering. Today we're doing a continuation of our Praetors videos. I'm giving a similar intro to this throughout all of them, so in case you pop in at a random version of it, you kind of get the idea of what I'm doing. As a hype lead up to Phyrexia, all will be one through the month of January. I'm releasing different historic Brawl videos on each of the Praetors. And then, after all will be one launches, I will do a final one on the new Elish Noin. But for now, we're just talking about Vorinclex Monstrous Raider. The green Praetor. For those of you who don't know, he's big, he's green, he's stompy, and that's how you play his decks. You'd go with counter synergies of some sort, sometimes on planeswalkers, sometimes just on creatures like, you know, Voracious Hydra and Wildwood Scourge and Ochre Jelly. Stuff like that. The bottom line is that he's all about getting big, getting swole, and stomping your opponent. So we might get some pretty quick games, we might get some pretty slow games, we'll find out. General ideas of what we have really is the big old stompy thing. We run a lot of snowlands, so we can run a lot of snow stuff, like Blizzard Brawls in here, as is a Boreal Outrider, Blessing of Frost, Spirit of the Elder God, lots of solid snow synergies throughout the thing in little bits and pieces. Also have access to stuff like Key to the Archives from Mana Ramp and Gilded Lotus from Mana Ramp, as well as classic Mana Ramp like Harrow and Cultivate. And Explore should be in here, right? There's Explore. And then Legacy's Minis Journeys. It's green, it's stompy, and Mana Ramps. General win cons involves stuff like Glorious Sunrise to just draw a bunch of cards, Defiler Vigor to get big, Nissa Ultimate with just massive amounts of mana, Rin Ultimate with just play everything out of your graveyard, Averbrook Caretaker as a way to just go big and go wide, Ulvenwald Oddity to make your creatures have trample and haste, Titania Voice of Gaia for Titania Voice of Gaia stuff, Circle of Dream Druids, lots of mana, lots and lots of mana, lots and lots of +1 counters, handful of safekeeping spells, including Snakeskin Veil and Tamiyo's Safekeeping, as well as a pair of Swiftfoot Boots in here. It's a pretty straightforward deck. It's going to go big, it's going to stomp on my opponents, and we're going to have fun with it. If you like content like this on the channel, like, comment, subscribe, and all that stuff, and let's hop into the gameplay. Alright, and our first matchup is Urza Lord Protector. Opponent goes first. Urza's pretty quick, so I want something faster than that. Okay, this isn't really that much faster. Did I get Ulvenwald Oddity twice? But it does have a turn to explore. Into a turn 3 Boseiju if I draw another land here. Or if I draw 2 more lands here, I guess. Go ahead and explore. Thank goodness. May as well play out the Dryad. It's a 1-1. If I draw another land, I think we hit the Boseiju, otherwise we just play Cultivate. Interesting. Mana Ramp, I suppose, for the Urza Enjoyer. Which makes sense. I wonder what they have foretold. Doomscar, probably, right? Alright, well. We hit the Cultivate. Keep the Mana Ramps rolling. It's a... okay. I don't think we Snakeskin Veil or Neverwinter Dryad. We might sack it next turn. If they swing with their Walrus, I might go for the trade, because we can still place Boseiju. Let's just go for Boseiju. I think we need to keep our mana ramping going. I could just play Blessing of Frost. I don't think that's the right play. I think it really is just a hold off until we can play Vorinclex. I don't know why they're brainstorming. The problem is we don't want to really play Vorinclex out without, like, a big sweeping turn. Unfortunately, we can't even... we don't really get value out of Boseiju right now. I can only imagine it's a Doomscar that they're holding up, right? I don't think they would hold up much else into Vorinclex. I think they would have, like, played around trying to counterspell my ramp if they were just... Sorcery? Huh? Really? Time warp? Okay. Ah, you hit me for 2. That was scary. I get it. They're trying to buy time. They feel like they're probably just going to get overrun. Do they go for like a Karns now? Probably. Or an Alruns? Ah, they're just trying to meld. I get it. Alright, well... Do I sack my Dryad here? I don't know if I do. It gives me a basic forest, which means I can play my Ulvenwald Oddity and have 8 open mana, which I think allows me to kick this. 3. Need 5 open mana. I don't think I can kick it, but I can make him attack Urza. I'll just go for it. I could have blocked an extra point of damage there, but I don't think it was necessary. They seriously held up, saw it coming. And they used it on an Ulvenwald Oddity. That's very confusing, sir. I have my commander right here on my board. If they're -5, -5, I think that's probably the silliest thing they could have done. On the plus side, I think between Inscription and Blessing? I don't think they have enough... Maybe they have a Mana Tithe? They don't have a... Oh, wait, they have the Bronze Walrus, don't they? I mean, to be fair, if they counter Vorinclex, we just Inscription of Abundance, make our Boseiju fight their Urza. Because they're silly and didn't play around that. I am shocked that they went so hard on that. Let's see if we can't get out like 2 or 3 different pieces of counter magic here. Man, they really hate that card, huh? That's crazy. You can't do that. You can't do that. You cannot play Dissipate and Swords to Plowshares on one creature. I honest to God think you just kinda can't. Okay. Draw a card. May as well swing with a 5/5. Yeah, we're just kind of on the beatdown pathing now, because I really think they're running out of answers. They have 3 cards in hand. I mean, technically, don't get me wrong, Urza has access to more counterspells, but like, I feel like it's probably a little silly for them to be playing out a bunch of counterspells right now. They have 3 open mana, 5 technically with the Mightstone Weakstone. That can't be used to pay generic mana costs, like, excuse me, sorry, burps. Can't help myself. Body, doing body things. I don't know why they went for sorceries on that. I feel like that was just like a really silly decision. All I gave them was a single time warp. They could have gone for like artifacts or something. I'm going to just assume that... Oh. They probably still have a counterspell. But we go for Vorinclex anyways. Because we're on the beatdown plan. Play the Celestis here, I think. I'm going to assume they're probably just going to do Urza and then, like, double exile, right? Oh, never mind. They're playing Teferi. Who enters with half, by the way. Which was a decision. To be fair, their Urza also enters with half. If they try and meld him. They also don't get any +1/+1 counters anymore because they let Vorinclex land. Like a lot of their +1/+1 counter synergy that they would try and do to hold up to Vorinclex just flat out doesn't work anymore. That does, but that's just because that's a +2/+2 effect. That's an Anthem effect. Not anything useful for them. Gwynna, Eyes of Gaia. I feel like playing her is not a bad idea. Let's just give +1/+1 and trample. If we just go face, that's 13 to face, right? Yeah. Like, they can kill my Elvish Mystic if they double block it, or they can kill my Vorinclex if they triple block it. You realize that kills both your creatures, right? I guess they don't care. Their Teferi still doesn't get to actually go up in anything, by the way. Just like their Urza doesn't get to go up in anything. They're having problems because I think that's probably why they're not melding. Because, like, it comes in with 4 counters, which means I can exile my Vorinclex, but I can just replay that with Gwynna. On with the multiverse. That's a desperation play if I've ever seen one. They're desperately trying to hit something that wins them the game here. Alright, they hit a midnight clock. They have 3, quote, question mark, open mana. Yeah, that's game. Yeah, they... I think the exact moment it fell apart was when they used both Swords to Plowshares on Dissipate on my Boseiju. Like, don't get me wrong, that would have been a big stompy threat in their face, but Vorinclex stops your planeswalkers from getting loyal. This is something I don't think I talked about in the intro, so I apologize for that, but if an opponent would put 1 or more counters on a permanent, they put half that many on each. Meaning that +1s from Wizard class, +0s. +1s to add to Teferi, 0s. They couldn't -3 him. He comes in with only 2 loyalty instead of 4 because those are counters you put on them. Even if Urza did transform into Urza Planeswalker, he would come in with 3 counters, meaning that they could +2 to get a +1 to then exile it to non-land permanent, but especially once I landed Gwynna, Eyes of Gaia, I had 2 extra mana on board to help pay for Vorinclex costs, and she would untap and get +1 counters. Like, they were just in a tough spot. Who do we got? Who do we got? Who do we got? We got Jace, Wielder of Mysteries, mono blue. Probably like mono blue control-y nonsense. We go first though, which is really big in my mind. I guess they gotta hold up a Spell Pierce here. No, they're just opting. I think they could hold up a Spell Pierce there, but I don't think that's the right play for them regardless. I wonder what they'll even... I don't even know what Jace does. Like, I get it. They're probably like a... draw out their deck. Let's go ahead and grab Key to the Archives. Bespark's really good here. Like, really good here. Because that's a non-land permanent with mana value 4 or greater. I think we drop the Inscription, because I don't think they're going to play very many creatures. And I think us just kind of ramping out into some cool shit is probably the better play. Do they let my Crystalline Giant land? Okay, they did. Do they let my Fight Rigging land? Oh. Not what I was expecting. What do we grab? We grab, honestly, Glorious Sunrise here. It has flying, nice. Do we see if they let us play out Vorinclex? Confounding Conundrum. I'm going to assume that they're hunting for counter magic of some sort here. I think we just try and play out Vorinclex and see what happens. I'm only assuming that they're going to counterspell me. Oh, that's depressing. Mostly because, like, Argoth comes in tapped without, Argoth comes in tapped unless I control a legendary green permanent, and he was my legendary. Dribble flip. Oh, they're going for a combo. Oh, that's so cool of them. Oh, they're running out of stuff, huh? Can I not target it? Wait, what? That's weird. Menache. At this point, we're just kind of going on the beatdown plan, I guess. I'm going to assume that they're just going for like a combo deck thing. Or they're just like, they're going to win in one turn. And if so, mad props to you. Okay. They don't really have much devotion to blue, though. Oh, okay, bye. I'm going to guess that they didn't have another counter spell to deal with Vorinclex re-landing, and then this would have been an 8/8, giving me back my item, and then he would have been a 6/6, which is 14 flat damage. They would have lived, though. Flip would have, Flip would have been 1 point of blocking. I guess they needed, like, one more turn to get their combo off to draw their deck. Because that's what you do with Jace, by the way. Jace is a draw your deck card. I'm going to assume that they just, like, didn't have enough mana from Nyx Lotus to make Folio of Fancies worth it. You know? So they're just like, yeah, we're done here, because I was just kind of on the beatdown path and they couldn't deal with my giant. Alright, Teferi Temporal Pilgrim. This is a rough matchup for them if I get to land on board first. Which I might. If I get to land on board first and, like, actually get rolling, I think they're in a really tough situation. Because Teferi can't gain counters while Vorinclex is on board, and a lot of Teferi a lot of Teferi game plans would involve around ultimating him, at least in Historic Brawl. I can only assume that that's, like, they can't actually counter him. I'm assuming it's an opt or a consider. Could be a Fading Hope. Consider. Classic. I think we just play Titania on curve here to get Gallagher some value. That's my bet. That's my best bet. Surge Engine. Not what I was expecting, but hey. Yeah, I think, do they come into... It just says put them onto the battlefield, okay. So, I'm gonna do this now. While I'm thinking about it. I probably should have just played out Titania or, like, harrowed into it. But next turn, I can do some better stuff. I just really wanted to get the Surge Engine off the board. It's the only, like, onboard threat that I think they'll have. Okay, that kind of worked. If I draw another land, Awaken the Woods just got a lot better. They could have a River's Rebuke in their back pocket, but I don't really imagine there's much to be scared of here. I think we just play out the Spirit of the Elder God here. I guess I could counterspell it, right? Maybe we create treasure tokens here. And then we just grab a land, because we're just trying to ramp still. I can't imagine I know what my opponent is trying to do here other than just hard play their commander, but he needs protection first. I gotta decide what I want to do. I think we could just play this for like x equals 3. And hold open 2 mana in case they try and make disappear it. It also gives me all 3 of my Gallagreators things to go off. Alright, cool. Beat down! The best they can do is like Fading Hope something, but I don't know. We're on the beatdown. I guess if they hit their River's Rebuke, they're in a pretty good spot, in a way. And I do mean in a way. But like, if they don't hit a River's Rebuke here, they're probably just dead on board. I mean, they are dead on board, literally. That is 90. That is just flat out 11 points of damage on board. All right, that's a good solution. Don't know if that was the solution, but that's a good solution. Maybe they plus on their Wizard's class here? I am pretty sure I have lethal now. Right? Because Vorinclex is 6 damage, so that's just lethal. Especially once I put a +1 on him. I guess that's just game. Okay, yeah. GG. I get the idea of the Mightstone and Weakstone to kill off the biggest onboard threat. I feel like you should probably run more interaction than just a Surge Engine and Disdain Full Stroke, though, if you're going into Vorinclex. You gotta realize he's going on the beatdown. But I guess to be fair, Mono Blue isn't really expecting a Vorinclex deck on the other side, right? Vorinclex isn't that common of a commander. But yeah, GG's anyways. On to the next. Alright, and Runo Stromkirk. I don't know how this matchup's gonna go, honestly. Like, I legitimately do not know how this matchup's gonna go. Because it's kind of a combo Kraken deck. But I guess if they get unlucky... Can I stop burping while trying to record these, please? Hopefully you don't hear any of this. I'm going to just assume that it's like a combo deck. I gotta figure out what my 3-drop's gonna be. In case you're wondering why I didn't go for something else, it's because Visaggio as a 2-drop is actually really strong if they're trying to mana ramp. I'll play something like Swiftfoot Boots. It does, I think we just go for it, actually. Okay, yeah. We hit another land anyways. Interesting. Play the Relic of Legends. Play the Ranger class. We might just go a little nutso and just ignore our opponent. Dangerous plays. Okay. It might seem a little silly, but we have Tamiyo safekeeping, so Gwyn is fine. And also, that made me change my mind. If they're doing all of that just to kill a single creature, I think they're scared. Yeah, I think they're scared. I think they're worried about me just comboing off really hard, which, to be fair, is absolutely what's going to happen. They should very well be scared. Now, we do run risk of walking into board wipes, destruction, double destruction effects, but we have an protection spell, which is, I think, the most important part of this matchup. We have an protection spell, and Bruno isn't really, like, control. Yeah. So I wasn't really expecting a ton of removal spells. Look, that's very cute, but mine's an 8/8. It's already bigger. Hopefully I can find a fight spell. That'd be neat. I didn't find a fight spell. Oh, well, we can play off the top of our library. Also, fun fact. I get double, because of the way that triggers work, you get double counters first, and then you get half counters after, I believe. So even though I should be getting 2 counters, I'm getting halved from the... Okay, that's game. I'm trying to explain the mechanic! Why'd you concede? I have a feeling it says they just whiffed hard on Gyruda, right? I mean, I guess they hit their Venomous Changeling, but yeah, they just didn't have a way to deal with my Vorinclex. He was too big. And my Crystalline Giant had Death Touch. But the way the Vorinclex works is that you get doubled, right? And then if another Vorinclex is on field, his effect comes into effect afterwards. So you're going to put your counters on, your Vorinclex says, oh, I get twice as many, and that is the effect that is resolving. Their Vorinclex is on the battlefield, and they go, you're getting half as many. But because there's because of that, in place of getting none, I'm getting doubles to start, right? So in place of going down to 0, I go down to the normal amount of counters I'm getting. So my Vorinclex is still getting +1/+1 every swing, meaning he's going to be a 10/10 next turn, which is probably a little scary for my opponent. Considering I can also start playing cards off the top of my library, understandable. But yeah, GG's, I guess. On to the next one. And our next opponent is Ishin, 2 heavens as 1. I'm a tiny bit scared. Okay, once again, this seems silly to keep. All I have is a 3-drop and a 4-drop, but I'm on the play! It's probably fine! Ishin's also a typically pretty slow commander because he's tricolor. Okay, cool, we got a line of War Elves, that's pretty good, actually. That means we can play Ulvenwald Oddity on curve. Especially now that they've played their Arcane Signet. I guess they could have a Fatal Push. Nah, it's just Hopeful Initiate. Who cares? Yeah, we play Oddity on curve here. And next turn, I don't know what we're gonna do. I'm waiting for removal here, right? Like, it's gotta be... interesting. Math is hard, let me think. So if I tap him and then 2, that leaves me 3 open mana, so I could play Kodama. But I want to swing first and see if I can't get a trade out of them. I cannot get a trade out of them. Let's just play out Kodama here. Might seem a little aggressive, but you have to be aggressive with this deck. Like, they get either card advantage or 3 extra damage to me, right? Okay, that was aggressive, but okay. So 1 tramples over the top. Let's go ahead and do that so we can get some more stuff. Get some more lands out of this. I'll play out this. Next turn we play Everbuck Caretaker, and then we might just win? I don't know, we'll see. They're probably going to hunt for cards for removal spells, and they might just beat us that. Oh, they probably have double strike. That's probably GG's, right? That's lethal on board by like a lot. I mean, maybe they don't think I'm going to transform or something. Oh, destroy all creatures. Nice. Alright, let's go ahead and explore, see if we can't find something good. Elvish Mystic is fine. That was really smart of them. I'm going to assume they're just going to play out Ishin here and then play out some creatures afterwards. Lamb and War Leader. I think we lose here. I'm going to play out Averbrook, though. But that doesn't save us, does it? I think this is just game now because I drew poorly. Yeah, that's a good game. We'll play it out, though. Maybe they're scared of Vorinclex. Maybe they're scared of Vorinclex. I can't imagine they're actually scared of Vorinclex. They play Ishin, they swing with their land, and War Leader, they win. Because he triggers twice, he makes 4 1/1s. Why would you not play out your commander? That was lethal. I had nothing to do. What? But I guess going for the flavor win. You had lethal if you just played your commander. He was only 5 mana. I don't know what the point of the Meathook was. I was tapped out. I'm sorry. That's just really funny with me. That's like I don't have any idea, honestly. That was a hilarious amount of extraness for no reason. Their Ishin would have cost red, white, and black, and then 2 extra. Well, there's some red, there's some white, there's some black, there's 2 extra mana. They would have had 2 open mana anyways. The land in War Leader's swings, you get a creature attacking causes the triggered ability of a permanent you control the trigger. It triggers an additional time. They would have made 2 more 1/1 white cat creatures that are tapped and attacking, which would have been 4 damage. That was just really funny. I'm sorry. All right, we are in a mirror match. Poggers. This is going to be a big win or a big loss. Probably depends on which one of us ramps harder. At the moment, it's looking like it might be me. If I get lucky and find another land, I'm golden. Did they just mulligan 3 times? They just mulliganed to 5. If I find another land, I'm golden, right? Because then I can use Boseiju here. Or Boseiju on my next turn, I suppose. Technically we could just play the Gilded Lotus, but we can't play Boseiju afterwards then. But I think the Gilded Lotus is probably just the better thing. Topiary Stomper. That's a card I wish I owned. It's one of the few cards from New Capenna that I just never got a copy of for some reason. Math is hard. Does that give me enough mana? It does not actually, hang on. Can I play lands from your grave? Oh, I don't... What's the point of that? That might seem like a little bit of an odd decision, but I want to do this. Just because it's silly and fun. They don't get to play their Vorinclex yet, which allows me to get off my Wildwood Scourge. Oh, I'm so sad! I just wanted to play my Wildwood Scourge. Alright, well, we play it anyways, because we can play it for 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. We can play it for like 11. We'll play it for 10, because that's a nice round number. And they scoop. Welcome to the Vorinclex mirror matches, where, you go big or you go home. So I'm sure you noticed, most of those matches were either really quick one way or the other, and that's what Vorinclex does. You might think that sounds a little weird for a 6-mana commander, but it's mono green. And mono green in Historic Brawl has access to a lot of really powerful stompy cards and a lot of really powerful ramp cards. And, we didn't even get to play most of the more powerful aspects of our deck. We only got to see the Kodama synergy once. We didn't even get to see Tireless Provisioner. Quarry and Beastcaller never landed on board. We didn't get to see many of our X cards and really get to pop off. We got to see Awaken the Woods once, but it got countered. Wildwood Scourge came out once and caused an opponent to scoop. We saw a little bit out of Glorious Sunrise, but as I'm sure you can notice, it's just a really, really hard and fast deck. It's either going to win really fast against people trying to play more slower controlling strategies, or it's going to die really fast to people playing actually good controlling removal strategies. It's very Feast and Famine, as is appropriate for the Monstrous Raider himself. But, you know, play it as you like it. Enjoy it, don't enjoy it, play it, don't play it. Either way, it's just a deck that I've had a lot of fun with, and I think it's a pretty good showcase of how Vorinclex can go crazy. Thanks for hanging out and watching. If you like the video and subscribe to the channel, that would be greatly appreciated. I appreciate all the support, and I hope to catch you in the next one.